Hey everybody, what's going on? Um, I really want to talk about this new Animal Crossing New Horizons direct that came out yesterday at the time of this recording. And I figure while we're talking about it, I'll do what probably a ton of other people are doing right now, which is revisiting their abandoned Animal Crossing towns. Because I don't want to say it like this, but I feel like the game was dead for me, at least. I was so excited for it. I played it to death when it released. I was really excited to just play every day. We streamed it a lot over on Twitch. And then I don't know, 2 months. I don't know, and I don't know what it is. If it's just playing Animal Crossing at a different point in my life than when I used to play it, or if there's something about this game that made it have less longevity compared to like the GameCube one or Wild World or City Folk, which I played for years. So I don't know. While we talk about it, I'm just gonna revisit my dead town because I have a feeling I'm gonna be coming back to it. And yeah, okay. So I forgot that direct was happening. I remember they announced it during the Nintendo Direct, and I was like, oh, cool. That's great. Animal Crossing news. But I don't know. There's been other Animal Crossing directs, and none of them were enough to make me want to go back to the game. Like, they would introduce new features I thought sounded cool, like the diving. I was like, oh, that sounds cool, but I'm not gonna play. Or like Carnival, I think they added back in. And I was like, that's just not enough. And here's kind of why: is every time you boot it up, you sit through Isabelle telling you, oh, this clock is way off. Was I time? Oh, I was time traveling. Uh-oh. Whoops. Now for today's announcements. Oh, Amelia's leaving? I think I told her to leave. But anyways, normally she says there's nothing new. And it says some dumb stuff about a TV show or whatever. And it was like every time I played the game made me stop and listen to Isabelle tell me that there's nothing happening in the game that day. And it was just like a really unignorable representation of why I'm tired of the game. So none of those other ones were enough to make me really excited to pick the game back up. And then I thought the direct yesterday was just gonna be Brewster because they had announced Brewster already, and I kind of thought that was all that it was gonna be. And that, like, I love the Roost and I love Brewster, but I was like, that's not enough for me to come back. Like, I love the Roost. I would have enjoyed it as DLC like a month after the game. But like not enough to boot it back up. Get him. But then they just kept announcing stuff. Like, it just kept going. If you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it literally just, like, they announced Brewster first, which was a good idea because we all knew it was coming. So there was no point in delaying it. But it just kept going. Like, I tried to keep notes of all the stuff that they were adding so I could talk about it in this video, but it just kept coming. Oh, Nook, I don't. Okay, I'm not reading all that. Yeah, so God, like, I don't even know where to start. There's so many like little quality of life things that they're adding, not even quality of life, just little features that I think are really exciting, and on their own they're kind of small, but I feel like altogether they changed like a lot. Like, it looked like they were doing like walls where like one wall in your house is one thing, and then you can put different wallpaper on a different wall in your house, which is like crazy. And then things that hang from the ceiling, like ceiling lights, or like there were shelves dangling down from the ceilings. That's crazy. A storage shed you can place around the island that connects to your house's storage, so you don't even have to go all the way back to your house. That's crazy. More bridges and inclines. That's crazy. And then the one that really blew me away as like being a little feature, but that like totally changes the game of how we decorate our houses, is that if your house has like everything is crammed up on each other and there's just a little bit of room that your character can't quite walk through, they've added a new like animation to where your character can kind of like squeeze through and walk sideways. I was gonna say sidle, but I don't know if that's actually a word. Sidle. You can squeeze through and walk sideways. Oh god, let's hit this while we're here. Okay, this will give me something to do while I'm babbling. But yeah, I feel like that alone is a really crazy little feature, but the way that they showed it in the trailer is like the way that I would use it the most, which is like if you have a little coffee table in front of a couch. Normally you have to put it so far away that it looks stupid, but now you can put it just a little bit away from the couch. You can squeeze behind it and then hop down on the couch. So I think all those little features, that's really exciting. And like an ATM that you can place around. I'm reading my notes. An ATM you can place around that, like the storage thing, is just going to make things really quick and easy. Hey, anybody want any hybrids? I was trying to get a lot of these blue daisies because those are like my favorite Animal Crossing flower. But I also wanted to get black roses because I was going to try to make blue roses, but I don't know how to do that. I know it's really involved and I forget how. And like, okay, so that's like one cluster of things I'm excited about, which is just like new little things that make the game more like playable, I guess. Oh, permanent ladders. That's another one. I'm just gonna keep remembering these little ones. Permanent ladders. So not only do we get more inclines, but we can, am I carrying it? Yeah, you can just like build a ladder and leave it permanently leaning around, which is aesthetically really cool, but I also wonder if it'll let us, maybe not. I was gonna say, since we can't like build like ramps up to the really high places, I was like, oh well, maybe the ladders will let us get up to like the tier that we can build but not reach, and it looks like that's not true. But I don't know, maybe, but probably not, because if this doesn't work for it, then that probably doesn't work for it. Wanted to test that. But yeah, okay, so that's still like a really cool thing, because not only like is it a cool look, but like I guess conceivably you can add more past your maximum inclines, so that's exciting. New KK slider songs, is that like new, like they're gonna record new KK slider songs? I don't know, but KK is gonna have new songs, which, I mean, I guess it's happened before. I don't know. That feels really new and exciting to me. I'm not sure when the last time we got like a new album. I don't know the last time the KK dropped his new album, but that's happening. So that's really exciting. And the music boxes they're adding in with that is just a cute little thing. I don't know how those are going to work, but music boxes, that's fun. And okay. So that's like one group of things. But then there's also stuff that they're adding in that reminds me of features that this game was like missing compared to old Animal Crossing games, which is part of what killed me about this, was because this game had so much new going for it, but there was a lot of old that it was missing that made it, for someone who's played since the GameCube game, kind of bummed me out. And you can tell that I'm a fan of the old games because I've recreated the GameCube train station here. That's why my town is a mess. I had made a new town. Pause to describe why my island is a mess. I had made my island and had no like particular aesthetic in mind, but I liked it, using like new-ish content, whatever. I just, had made an island that I thought looked cool. But then I got to thinking that I really liked the idea of building an island that recreated the GameCube look. So I totally had to like re-terraform. That's why you can see all my, God, I don't remember what the buttons do. You can see all my villagers are on the beach because I moved them to the beach so I could terraform the whole island. And then I'll move them back when I'm done. But I got bored of the game in the middle of doing this. Um, but yeah, I was trying to recreate the GameCube, look, which I'm probably going to continue to do when I pick this back up with the update. I'm gonna, I guess, go back to streaming this a lot, because I want to finish this. That's why I was time traveling. I remember now, is because I was moving houses and stuff around. But I'm gonna, I was making a little town square like in the GameCube version. I built the dump over there. I'm gonna keep pressing that. I built the dump over here like in the GameCube one. So there was a lot of like GameCube Animal Crossing vibes that I felt like were missing. Like there were no gyroids, and then like a lot of the NPCs I missed. So very cool. A few things that they're adding are like bringing that stuff back. So obviously I already mentioned gyroids, but gyroids are gonna be able to be found on your island, which is like dope. I would have been fine if they had just added those back in alone, but they didn't. It's like you can find them on your island, buried in like little fragments, and then you bury them again and I think like water them, or if it rains the next day it'll be a full gyroid, which is cool because I feel like that's how it worked in the GameCube version, was like they would just they would pop up after rain. So it's cool that we can like water them or anything like that. Does he live here? Do you live on my island? I don't remember you, sir. I don't remember you. Okay, so that's cool. It would be cool if they just brought back gyroids, but they've added that new functionality, and they've made it so you can customize them using like the workbench to change the colors, because the gyroids all have like very specific sounds that they make, but also very specific like color schemes and looks. So the fact that you can customize them to fit better into your room, so if you find one that makes a sound you like, but its color clashes with your room, you can paint them now, which I think is really, really cool. I'm not super aesthetic like that, but I'm sure that will be super helpful to people who are like really, really into the design. And then Captain's gonna be back. Captain's gonna be here and he's gonna take us places. Captain's gonna be here and he's gonna sing his Captain songs. Ba 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 ba. I'm gonna delete that. Captain's gonna be here and he's gonna sing his Captain songs, which I love. I never skip them. I never ignore them. They make me very happy. So that's really exciting. God, I forgot how much of a mess my island was. Y'all, I promise we're gonna fix it. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/push. I should learn how to say my own Twitch handle, twitch.tv/puffinwatch, to watch me fix this junk ass island, especially after the update comes out in November. Yeah, okay, so Captain's gonna come back, which is cool. Like there's new features, like he's gonna take us to islands, sort of like the dodos do, except these islands are gonna have I'm not dealing with that. These islands are gonna like, they can be in a different season than we are, they can be on a different time than we are, and they showed off that you can go to them that have like new plants, including vines, which look like they function like the permanent ladder. I should have mentioned that earlier, but it looks like you can, plant a vine that'll make it so you can climb up stuff, which that's sick. I actually might use that over here. I was trying to make sort of like a hidden little hidey hole for the campsite, to where the only way you can get to it is like boing. Oh, I remember what I was trying to do. It's right next to the train tracks, so I wanted the vibe to be kind of like a little hobo camp. Like maybe they were riding the trains and they climbed off here and have set up a little camp. It needs some work, but that was like the vibe. Maybe I'll plant some of these weeds here, make it look a little overgrown. God, what was I even saying? Oh yeah, the vines and stuff. So that's exciting, but honestly the most exciting part to me is just that Captain's back. But he'll bring us to islands that have like new stuff. So very cool. which starts to be on like a whole tangent of old characters coming back. Rooster, nope, Brewster in the Roost, which is exciting because I love him, but also you can see other NPCs at the cafe, including some that you call in using amiibo, so that's cool. I don't own literally any amiibo cards, but that's cool. I might have to get some, especially for like villagers I want, because I really want like Apollo and some of the other GameCube ones. I'm kind of a broken record, but like Apollo and Elmer and Scoot and some of like the OGs. Some of the OGs. There's some new ones I like Kyle. I like Kyle, but I'd like some more like the original characters. And then God, they just kept bringing out stuff that like we had no reason to expect they were gonna add in, but like Harvey's Island, which has literally nothing on it except for the photography house, which like a lot of people used really creatively to make some cool content, and some cool images and like videos and stuff, and I didn't use for anything like ever, so it was basically nothing to me. But they are adding, it's nothing to me, but they're adding in a whole other part, which is looks like a money sink. You know, it gives you a reason to earn bells because you have to pay the gyroids there to let other NPCs come and open up shop. But yeah, it's sort of like a pocket camp thing where it also reminds me of that place in New Leaf after like the update, where traveling NPCs come and set up their little trailers, and you can come and interact with them. Like it looks like Sahara will be there. Katrina is gonna be there, the fortune-telling panther. That's lit. Tortimer's there, which means he's not dead. Rejoice. I was pretty sure it was canon that Tortimer was dead at this point, but I guess he's not, so that's exciting. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know who all is gonna be there. Like some of the OG NPCs. Red is gonna be there. So you're not just waiting on him to come to his little cove. So that is really exciting to me. What else am I missing? I don't know. It's cool that it'll give you something to earn bells and spend them on. Because I was getting to the point where listen, y'all, I had so much money saved up, and then I started getting into like the turnip trade and had even more money from that, but then I had to spend it all because it was so expensive moving all my villager houses. It was like what, like 15,000 every time, 50,000, I forget, but it was a lot, and it really started to add up, and that took a chunk out of my account. So I won't be in as good a position to just throw money at these gyroids. Also, please don't judge this. This upper area is really not good yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do to it. I wanted to make it kind of woodsy, and like everything below this is gonna try to emulate the GameCube town, and everything above this I want to make kind of like mountainous and foresty, and then have my house up here, sort of like across the tracks from the town. Yeah. Oh, the camera, they've added like first person camera. I don't know, because like you remember how there was that like, not hack, I'm trying to say, like there was like a bug people were abusing, they were taking advantage of to make the camera work differently so they could take better pictures, because the current system was like a little limiting, and then they removed that bug so people couldn't do it anymore. Was kind of a bummer. So I'm very excited that they're adding in like first person camera so you can walk around and take pictures in first person. I think that's really cool. I'm excited to see what people make with that. I remember like during the live stream, everyone was joking about like FPS Animal Crossing, which is pretty funny. So I don't know, that's pretty exciting. And then another feature from the old games that they're bringing back is, I think it came from Wild World, but I know it was in other games too, I think. But the animals being able to invite you over to their house or ask to come visit your house, I think is really fun. because I mean, I feel like I feel like this is not an unpopular opinion. Like this isn't a hot take. I feel like a lot of people feel this way, but the villagers just seem a little bit more soulless in this. I'm one of those people that complains about how the grumpy villagers used to be just like so mean and full of so much of that like personality, and now they're just old and grumpy. Is their new thing? Is they're just old and grumpy? I don't even know that. I don't even know what that is. So yeah, the fact that they are adding that back in is, I don't know, a little taste of like the olden days when the villagers felt a little bit more alive. So I don't know. We'll see if that makes a difference. I think it's a cool additional feature. God, but like they, you see what I'm saying? It was just so much stuff got announced, and I think I've talked about all of it. Let me scroll through my notes. I feel like I've talked about all of it, except for the DLC. But yeah, okay, so I don't know. All of that is very exciting to me. That's all a free content update on November 5th. And then they said, oh, like this is the last free update that the game will be getting. And you know, like it's enough. I feel like it's enough to make me at least get another like kick of activity in the game. Is it enough to make me come back and not put it back down? I don't know if it's enough for that, but it's definitely enough to renew my interest and make me pick it back up and maybe finish the project of what I was trying to do with my island, and you know, stream it again and get back to having fun with Animal Crossing. It's enough for that. It is really disappointing that it's the last one, not because it's not enough content for me, but because it's really disappointing that it took this long, because the game felt like it was missing a lot at launch, and they were, you know, they did like the seasonal updates as the game went, which obviously you can tell I time travel, so it was a little disappointing because I like to jump around in the game a little bit. That's just how I played it as a kid, and that's kind of how I like to play it now. So it was kind of disappointing that like I had to wait for the holidays in real life to come before they would add that content into the game. But you know, that was what it was. But I thought part of the benefit of that was that they would be able to add exciting things throughout, and they just kind of didn't. Like they did add stuff, you know, like the swimming, which I've literally still not even done, the swimming and the diving, and I literally can't think of any other things because it was just so uninteresting to me. Like they just added stuff that I didn't really care about, and maybe others did. Like I know the game isn't fully dead, like there's still people playing it, but yeah, it just wasn't enough. And the fact that it's, you know, what is it, a year and a half, maybe, probably not that long, but it's at least a year after the launch of the game, and it's the first time that they've added so much content that I care about and is exciting, and it's like enough to kind of mix up the game for me. And it's the last one. They're not going to do it again. It's the last one. So that's really a bummer, but I won't complain too much about it. I'm excited about what we are getting, so you know, I'm looking forward to that. I really am excited for this stuff that's like bringing back old characters, and I just think it's really cool how the gyroids are coming back, but they're kind of marrying that old content with the new crafting menu. I think that's a really neat thing to do, like a combo of OG Animal Crossing stuff and then like the stuff that New Horizons does that that other games don't do. Whoa, speaking of things that New Horizons does that the old games don't do, I don't know how I forgot this. The farming, that's like completely new, right? Like I know I've not played for a while, but like they set up a whole farm, and there's like a cooking crafting system, which like neat. Can I play Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing now? Because that's pretty cool. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. The farm, like, I'm not sure if that's something that I'll use or not. Um, but I know a lot of people were asking for it, and I don't know, it would be cool to set up sort of like a community garden. I don't know where, but somewhere. That's kind of what this was supposed to be, like a little community orchard. So maybe I'll do something like that over here. But yeah, that's cool. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. I didn't even write that down. Because it's not something that I personally was super hyped for, as like a concept. And then, you know, they did finally announce it. So exciting. Not for me, but really cool because I know a lot of people were asking for it. And I don't know, I'll probably find a use for it. But yeah, I mean, that's an Animal Crossing first. You can set up a garden, you can farm, which I think is cool because it does give you, you know, presuming you have to come in every day and water, that's, you know, just another daily thing that you can tick off on your to-do list, which I know is the thing that some people don't like about Animal Crossing, but also just like, that is Animal Crossing, the things that you got to come in and do to keep you playing, because I mean, otherwise what's the point of the day-by-day progress? I might see if anyone wants to take Amelia because I don't want her. I'll have to post on like the villager trade subreddit. Where even she's got to be one of these just random ass houses. Oh, hi. I might get something cool from Sahara after I finish this video. Yeah, so last free content they said before sneakily segueing into some new unfree content. some little loophole. It is new content, but it ain't free. Which, yeah, should we talk about that now? Is that a separate video? Should we talk about that now? I've already been recording for 27 minutes. Fuck it. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it now, and maybe I'll edit it into a different video, or maybe I won't. Have I caught him before? I've caught him before. The archipelago, I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, and people are gonna make fun of me for it, but that's fine. I could tell as soon as they announced it that lots of people would be pronouncing it wrong, because that is a word that is more difficult than it probably should be. But it's DLC coming the same day. It's paid. It's a little expensive, but you can also put it in with the expansion pass for Nintendo Switch Online, which that's a whole can of worms I really don't know if I want to get into, because I don't know if it's fair or not yet. The pricing, I'm not sure. Let's not even go there. We can talk about it another time. Maybe let me know in the comments what you think about the pricing of the expansion pass, and whether you think the fact that if you get the expansion pass, it comes with the Animal Crossing DLC, which is maybe a good business move for them to get people off the fence. But what do you think about that? Because I'm not sure how I feel about it, whether or not it's fair. Look at my little secret path. So like, let me know what you think, because I really am not sure where I stand on that. But yeah, so it's a Happy Home Designer sequel, but instead of a spin-off game, it's DLC, which I think is a great move, because I never bought Happy Home Designer. But if it had been DLC for New Leaf, I would have, and I'm definitely tempted to get it. I'm probably gonna get it for this, because the new features in it you can carry over to your New Horizons island. Which, I mean, I guess let's talk about that first. The new housing options, like the stuff that comes with the archipelago storyline, is cool, and like that's a whole other thing. But just like the new building options that you're gonna get in that, and that you can bring them back to your own island for your own house, and that you can unlock the ability to design your villagers' houses using these features, is so cool. I mean, that's so smart for them to make it a DLC and let you carry that stuff over. Just because people would be upset if it's a separate game and they have all these new features, but they can't bring it back to their home game. Because I know people have spent just like wild amount of hours making the perfect island, the perfect house. I mean, the stuff that I've seen on people's islands is just so impressive. We're gonna have to on stream go visit some other people's islands and check it out, because I am not a great designer I'm gonna make my little GameCube replica island and be happy with it. But the things that other people have done just floor me, just blow me away. But yeah, like they've added like countertops of 2 separate sizes that you could add in. They've added in partition walls so you can have like rooms in your house, or at least like dividing walls. They've made it so you can change the dimensions of their houses. Like you can make them really long and narrow. You can make them really wide but shallow. Or you can make them big. So you can customize the size of the houses that you're building. On the interior, you can change the exterior of their houses. Oh, the pillars. There's pillars you can put in to support the ceiling. And I may be forgetting some of those, but a lot of new building options, which I think is just really cool. And it's just a neat little bit of added value to be able to bring that back to your island and customize your house with it and customize your villager's house with it. Because I just think it's so cool that like I can, for example, I put, where is he? He's on the other side. I put, Billy's house here to mimic the Animal Crossing GameCube post office. It was always at the top of the island next to the train tracks, and it had the town tune board, and it was always like a little brown house. So I put Billy's house here. But with the DLC, I can now go in and design his house to look like the interior of the post office, which I just think is really cool. And I know a lot of people make alternate characters, like they make different player characters on their island so that they can place a house somewhere and then customize the interior to look like a cafe or maybe a library or, you know, anything like that. Which I've always thought is like a really creative thing that people do in the game. But now they're adding this feature to where you can customize your villagers' houses. So you don't even really have to do that. You can put your villager somewhere and then make their house look like a library, make their house look like a cafe. So I think that's really neat. I think a lot of people are going to do a lot of really cool things with that, and I'm looking forward to it. That's a feature I definitely will be able to put to use, because I'm going to have to put somewhere a police station like in the GameCube game. So I'll be able to make someone's house look like the old Lost and Found maybe. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, I think that's all I want to talk about in terms of just like the features coming with that game, like, you know, like the added options. This is gonna get eaten by the weeds, isn't it? Nope, we're good. I don't know, that just opens up a lot of options. But then just in terms of the DLC itself, I don't know if there's too much to say about it, because it's really a lot like Happy Home Designer. It's, you go, you get a character comes in and asks you to build them a house with certain specifications, and then you get to creatively meet those specifications. It's cool that there's different islands, like different biomes where you can plop their house down. It also looks a little bit more permanent maybe than Happy Home Designer, because once they're on the island, it looks like they're there. And you can come around later and update it. And like, I didn't play Happy Home Designer, but I feel like that was more like mission based. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I felt like that was more mission. Like you did this house, done. You do this house, done. But now it's a little bit more permanent. Also, you can make them roommates. You can put two animals, two villagers on that island. You can put them in the same house and then design the house to suit both of them, which I think is really cool. Because then they were roommates. But also people in the chat were talking about, you're like, oh, we can ship them now. we can decide which animals are together and put them in a house, which, you know what, more power to you. That's kind of fun. I don't know if that's a feature that will carry over to our main islands. I don't know if that's something that we can bring to the main islands, like have two villagers that I think are best friends and make them move in together. I don't know if that's something that we'll be able to do, but still really cool. You'll be able to invite your villagers there. I don't know how that works. I'd like to have villagers from your island go be on the archipelago. God, I should have Googled that word before I started this video, huh? But anyways, I don't know how that's gonna like interact with your island. Like if they just won't be here because they'll be over there. Not sure, but interesting. And like Isabel, like it looks like you can get NPCs and shopkeepers and stuff like that to be over there. So that's neat. That's pretty interesting. There's also, again, kind of like what I said about how people like will design their house to look like a cafe or, you know, whatever. The archipelago has a feature kind of like that, which is like the island has some empty houses, and they were like, oh, you could go in and make that house look like a schoolhouse. And I was like, alone, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like they're giving us blank slate houses in an empty village to customize how we want, which was kind of reminiscent to me of New Leaf, how you cross the tracks and you go up and there's that little like shop area, or even the City Folk City, except in here you get to customize them. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then also it's got vibes where like you can have the villagers who live on the archipelago populate those businesses and work there, and you can go in and like, you know, one of your villagers will be a waiter and then the other ones will be sitting at the table of the restaurant, and that's interesting. I kind of like it. I'm not sure what all is going to come of it, if it's just something cute or if there's like gameplay behind that, you know, like it's fill out the island and get a reward, or, you know, assign a villager to a job that they like and, you know, get a reward. I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much on it because that might not be content that we're gonna get, so I don't want to get excited about it. But very curious. I don't know. That's interesting. You'll be able to follow like creators and builders that you like and see what they do with the different houses, which I think is really exciting, because that's one of the things that I've liked most about New Horizons, is being able to go to an island and see what people have done. So I think it'll be really cool for people to be able to be like, hey, like I have been kicking ass on my archipelago. Here's my, you know, creator code or whatever. Follow me on the Happy Home Paradise is what they're calling, Happy Home Paradise. Follow me on that and, you know, check out what I'm doing. And then I don't know if we'll be able to like download what they've made or if it's just for inspiration, because it's kind of just, you know, creative mode. So, you know, we can just see what they do and then pick those items, I presume. So that's cool. And then the better job you do, it looks like you get paid for it in like a special currency just for the island. And there's a store with like unique items just for the island, that you can like bring back to your island. But it's custom items that you can only get through that system. So that's a good incentive to go and do it. So you can get like some neat stuff to bring back home. Let me make sure that that's everything I wanted to talk about. I feel like that's all I wanted to talk about in terms of serious stuff, but Lord, we have to end this video with just an appreciation post for the new characters. The gameplay's stopping. I'm putting up pictures and footage. Look at them. I love that monkey. His name is Nico. I love him. He's so cute. And the manatee, Wardell, I think his name is something like that, but I love them both. Guys, I'm so excited to come visit you on your archipelago. I will see you in November. Oh, they're so cute. They're so freaking cute. Oh man. Okay. All right. This video's gone on too long. But that's because that direct kept going. The direct kept going, so this video has to keep going. So much good stuff. I'm really excited to come back to the game. I'll be streaming it over on my Twitch throughout November. So yeah, wow. What do you guys think? Is this enough to get you to pick the game back up? What are you most excited about? What do you think about the DLC? Are you going to be getting that? It costs $25 on its own, or you can get it as part of the expansion pass for Nintendo Switch Online. I don't know. I'm really excited. I forgot the direct was happening, so I watched it at work, and literally it was just so much. It was so much. I wanted to leave work and go home and immediately record this and start playing Animal Crossing, but I couldn't, so I had to wait till today. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to come back to Animal Crossing because it's a series I've loved since I was a kid. And New Horizons wasn't a disappointment per se. I don't want to say it was a disappointment, but it was a little disappointing, if I can say that. So I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know how to end videos. Thank you for watching. This one got a little bit long. God. But I look forward to seeing what you guys make in Animal Crossing. Have a good rest of your day.